Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, coming to you from our studios at Borland Performance Industries.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, Sam and I really got a neat project now. What we're working on is the differential from a big rig truck. Now, these things travel millions of miles, and like anything, eventually they'll start to wear out and have to be repaired.
Exactly. When you see this shaft for the power divider, you know it's got two differentials. And these things, when they come from the factory, depending on the manufacturer, have a warranty of either 500,000 or 700,000 miles. But this one's gone a couple million miles, and it's time for bearings.
And the thing you want to check on this is you want to check to see what parts are that you can salvage out of this thing, and maybe you can't. Maybe you pitch the whole thing. In this particular case, though, we're looking at the ring and the pinion, and the ring gear looks pretty good.
Yeah, ring and pinion look good, and you can use these over a lot of the big trucks. But here's the critical thing. We're going to take it apart, put all new bearings in it, clean it up nice, put it back together. You look here at your toe and your heel patterns, and that's where your drive and your coast is. Since we're going to use the ring gear and the pinion gear as a match set over, when we get all done, put it back together and set up all our bearings and stuff, we're going to put our paste on it. We want to get the exact same pattern so you don't get a noise.
Exactly. Let's get started on this.
Okay.
Okay, now we're back in business here. What we've done is Sam and I, we've cleaned up our rear end housing, got it all apart, sandblasted it, painted it. So now we're ready to go back. Takes a long time to do this stuff.
You know, you want to replace all the bearings. Now, here's a bearing we took a look at. When you roll it here, it was noisy. This was a noisy rear end. Now, if you look at the cup, it looks almost like it's brand new. A lot of miles on it, so the thing had good lube in it. So that looks fine. That wouldn't be a cause for noise. And if you look at the rollers are all fine. And you spin them, it looks good. So you might say, well, I'll just wash this out and use it again. Now, we open this bearing up. Let me take it over here. We actually cut the cage. If I can pull this off, there we go. Now, look at that. There's our noise. That inside race is galling. This bearing's junk. That way you don't want to take a chance on anything. Put some high quality.
Now look at the difference here, Sam. You know, you can't always tell by looking at the outer race like this. But when these things start flaking, that metal starts floating around in there, it starts eating this up and eventually destroys your bearing, loosens up everything, and that's when you have problems.
That's right. And you want to make sure you have noise. You want to make sure you use all the bearings and use high quality bearings.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we've got a real bearing expert with us. We got Roberto Corieto from NTN Bauer. And Roberto, thank you for coming to the show and bringing some bearings for us, because we need them for this.
I think these are going to go to Sam.
Side bearings. I'm going to go take that side gear and put these on.
All right. So, Roberto, I got this all cleaned up. First step we want to do is we're going to flip her over here. We'll put in the pinion.
Okay.
All right. You want to give me a hand here? Sure. Okay. Yes. There we go. All right. Now, a couple of things about this. This shim is something you want to keep, isn't it?
That is correct. This is basically going to set the tooth depth meshing between the ring gear and the pinion gear. So basically, by changing this, you're changing the effective meshing depth of the two gears.
Since we're going to use the ring, the original ring and pinion, then we know that depth is correct, and this is the right shim. So we'll put that in here, get that lined up, and this is our pinion set right here. Now the bearing's already been pressed on. All the settings are correct on it now. So all we have to do is drop this in and bolt her down, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now these are a little heavy, and it should just slide right in. It takes a little bit, though. Okay. Ready? Okay, looks like we're in good shape. Okay, folks, you can see what we've done here. We've come a long way. We got it all back together. And Roberto, what do? We do a pretty good job on that?
You did a pretty good job. We got a proper clearance, a proper backlash.
That's what we were checking here was our backlash. And if you notice here, we also checked to see what a pattern was with our ring and pinion. Right. And that's in good shape, so I think we're ready to button this up, Sam.
Right back where it was. It won't be noisy. By the way, in your NTN Bauer kit, you're going to get your seals, the bearing for the power divider. You're also going to get your RTV silicone sealant, excuse me, which goes between the housing here and then on this diff housing when it goes into the rear end housing, and you'll be in great shape. Then lots of gear oil.
Yeah, you got to get a loan for that. Right. Anyway, Roberto, thank you so much for stopping by. Right. We got a lot more coming here on Motorhead Garage. Stay tuned.